Secondly, I am called to be who I am before others. But interestingly, that as I am before others, I continue to be before God. That doesn't change. And so actually, that gives me a freedom to be before others because I continue to be before God who's loving me the whole time. Sometimes I feel like, like when I talk to people and they're like, well, when I'm sinning, I feel like God's left the room. I feel like I've turned my back on him. It's like, well, maybe, yeah, it feels that way, but he would never turn his back on us. That he continues to love me as I feel shamed or whatever I'm feeling weak. And so Jesus is exhorting us tonight that this light, that just like a city on a mountain, cannot be hidden. That I cannot hide the light. The reality is that just like the story at the beginning I shared, that all of us emit a light. All of us communicate a message. The question is, what message am I communicating? That my friends around me, that my family, my classmates, that all of them have some sense of me. What sense am I communicating? What light is being emitted? And so, what do we do? I think, first of all, like I said, we need to be who we are. I need to be me. What does that look like? If I'm being me, I need to always strive to be honest. Because the first temptation before my friends is to tell them what they want to hear, to be the way they want me to be, to not make waves. And so the invitation is to be honest. It doesn't mean I have to say, well, you need to understand, I think these 3 points. No, it's just be honest. We're able to be honest by being who I am with the Lord. Yesterday at the men's conference, I noticed one of the speakers, who I know, that he was asked, they had a panel, and he was asked 3 questions. And every time he was asked a question, before he answered, he gave everybody the awkward pause. Like they said, what do you think about this? And he went like this. And you're looking at him, you're like, oh, he's thinking. But I know this guy. No, he does think, but But when I saw that, it struck me, I said, he's not thinking right now. He's listening. That before he speaks to everybody on this question of faith and whatever, he pauses and he's listening for what God is speaking to him in that moment. And so, if I can remember in all different moments that God is with me, trying to communicate with me, lead me, that as I face situations, or what do I say, that instead of sitting there freaking out, like, oh my gosh, I don't have the right answer, what do I say, I don't know what to say, the answer is actually to just pause and just look to heaven, like, Lord, because he knows. God knows the situation. He knows we're stuck. He's the one that's going to speak into that situation. It's not my job. But if I can just pause and listen, well, man, I just think and we just speak into it. I heard this great example. One of the missionaries was sharing this with the students, and because a lot of people are afraid, like, I don't want to be that pushy Christian. I don't want to, come off all preachy or whatever. But God will provide situations. And the situation example she gave was talking to someone, and this girl was talking to her saying, I just broke up, and it really hurts. And I thought it wouldn't hurt this bad, and I hate this. and I don't know what to do, and gosh, what do you think? And the missionary just kind of listened and then said, of course it hurts. You were made for relationships that don't end. And that every relationship that ends is a reminder that your heart was made for a relationship that's going to last forever. And specifically, that relationship is with God. And when we have a relationship with God, we're connected to Him, that we can stay in His love no matter how many relationships we come in and out of. That it doesn't hurt so bad because I know I'm loved now and I'll be loved forever. And so there's no magic to how do I share my faith? But if I'm listening to God, He's going to give us opportunities. And especially the answer too is, what do I say? What's the perfect answer? Do I say, well, the church teaches, whatever? I've learned that doesn't work. That anytime I start a statement with, well, the church teaches, people just stop listening. So I don't do that. But the message that the Father wants to speak to the world, the message that Jesus wants to speak to the world is Him crucified. And so when my friend feels ashamed and weak and low, the answer is to say, it sounds like you're feeling really alone and abandoned. Jesus on the cross felt the same way. Jesus said to the Father, my God, why have you abandoned me? Perhaps so that you and I would know that we're not alone, that we are loved in those moments of our most brokenness. So there's no magic there. But the answer is to just be myself. To be myself before God in prayer, and to be myself everywhere else we go. You know, today we have, everybody, your homework today is to watch the Super Bowl with other people. Unless you hate football. Well, even if you hate football, it could be virtuous, right? So, and in that, to be honest. Because there's going to be all sorts of conversation. What do you think about that? And the answer is to just, maybe we need to pause. And whenever someone tries to put Father Matt in a corner, nobody puts baby in a corner. You know, like if somebody's trying to put us in a corner, like I always kind of like just pause. And if I feel defensive, it means it's time to ask a question back. Well, what do you think about what's happening politically? Don't put me in a corner. You know, I'm going to turn back and say, wow, you sound pretty passionate about that. What do you think? And they're going to say, well, let me tell you what I think. You know, and they're just going to like, blah. So you didn't even have to say anything. You just listened. Or when decisions need to be made, or whatever. Or maybe, you know, maybe the party's not going the direction it needs to. Or maybe the drinking, whatever. You know, people are like trying to recycle a lot of cans or something. You know, like maybe that's the point where we need to say, like, this is no longer life-giving. I think I'm just going to dip, you know, like, I don't know. But the point is, does it mean if I'm at the Super Bowl party, I'm not with Jesus? No. What it means is God is with me every moment. He's trying to speak to me. He's trying to work through me. And as I just kind of pause and let His love radiate through me, that I suddenly become a lighthouse for Him. St. Catherine of Siena says, if we are who we are meant to be, if we are who we are, we will set the world on fire. Because who we are meant to be is vessels of Jesus Christ and His light and His love. And if I am that, and the infinite divine God is radiating through me, that everywhere I go, people will be caught on fire. They will be affected. They will be touched by the God who loves them and has never given up on them.